Hi, once again, this is your boy Terry. My username is Surpassing Google across the internet, and this is another short video in which I'll be covering another line derived from the Legit-illiteracy curriculum. Legit-illiteracy is an entire school that will become world renowned, that everyone can school in. Anyone can school in. Even for free, regardless of levels of literacy, that intends to reveal rare intel from the notebooks or contained in the notebooks, to make sure that information is made whole, that each human can begin to attain full-blown humanhood, surpassing Google in the process. Anyway, the one-liner that I'll be covering today, I'll try to keep the video short, is of my memory. The pursuit of happiness is a marketing terminology. That may sound bizarre, but it's a very hefty sentence. It has weight and occupies space, and it's something around which the world revolves. That very simple one-liner is really a really big statement. So we're going to reveal some rare intel regarding my sentiment. Okay. Again, the pursuit of happiness, like I mentioned, is a marketing terminology. I want to do a bit of thinking as I'm talking, even though I'm rushing, and I want you to think as well, ponder on that sentence so that we can be aligned. Then listen to my undertone, the context, the underline, and perhaps you'll grasp what I'm saying. Anyway, I call it a terminology, marketing terminology, because it's very broad. So many other small one-liners can come up from that very first sentence I mentioned. For example, some would say happiness is all that matters, and you can go on to expand by saying pursuit of happiness may mean running away from so-called sadness, and on and on and on. You can build on that. But looking at that one sentence, the pursuit of happiness, then everything becomes sellable. Every human, a potential client, in a cycle. And well, that's what the monopoly of the world wants in reality. That everyone is maintained in a cycle, pursuing happiness. Can also mean running away from so-called sadness, and then everything becomes sellable. It's a cycle, two motions, running away from something and in pursuit of the other, and then you stay in a cycle on and on and on, and everything suddenly becomes sellable. Humans lose value in reality as a result of this one-liner. It becomes about meism, your interest ahead of others. So things will sell, things to protect your interest will sell. Guaranteed. Things that catch your fancy will sell. Then as you run away from sadness, things that you think create a moment of comfort will sell. The beer, the vices will sell. Then the value of human keeps on relegating things of luxury, cute face, fair complexion, skin. All these things will sell. And who gains? It just puts humans as pawns in another person's dream, an anonymous person for the most part. Makes you enter into outer space, leaving the value in the down to earth in pursuit of so-called happiness. Looking at it critically, not many things that are tagged sadness are sadness in reality. Some are tangible, mishaps or discomfort, necessary for the evolution of the human, the exertion of human virtues. The Creator is in his invincibility I mean, what did he do when he was the victim? I mean, it's impossible that he's the victim, but from a human standpoint, we sinned. He created us beautifully in his image with perfection, and just to prove love towards him. Don't eat from the fruit in the middle of the garden. And we fell short. But he took up the so-called sadness, by world standards, and he bore it. And he took initiative and on behalf of mere dust, fellow humans. He can tell the stones to worship him. He can program us to worship him by gifted us with free will, so that we can love for real. Anyway, he sent his son, and if you look at yourself, especially if you're a man, you have that manly character, you may understand or perceive the levels of complex sadness. When you say sadness now, that Jehovah the Creator had to go through watching mere dust, his creation, pummel his son. If you're a manly character, you'll understand even more. Watch it, and you're not tied, invisible ropes in the face of your invincibility. So that love itself is self-sacrifice, and Jehovah is love. These things are deep sentences. Superficial stuff is what is what sells. But the reality is we're created complex beings. Nothing is really ordinary. There's so many unordinary things, and these things lose value in the face of the paint of the world. Again, a painted world is not a real world. What is sadness? Yeah, but that's part of human living. We're created perfect, but currently we're imperfect, and sadness is part of human living. It's what stirs innovation. It's what stirs empathy, sympathy, love. Sadness can be translated into things of beauty, an opportunity to exert your human virtues, evolve your human senses, grow towards the image of the Creator, and avenues to love your brother, put another person's interest first ahead of yours. The so-called dictionaries. In truth, I wonder how one dictionary can cater to an entire expanse of humans. We all have genes and different genes, so even by world standards, the definition of sadness may need to be redefined. Many things are not sadness in themselves, and I wasn't able to think because I was considering the time. I don't want the video to grow too long, so I may have a haphazard presentation, but you can replay this video. And anyway, very soon there will be an entire school. The curriculums are written, so you'll be able to read an expanse of material, content, rare intel contained only in the notebooks. The books are written, so there is a necessity to reveal the knowledge contained in the notebooks, so that knowledge becomes whole, so that there is balance. Overall, there has got to be balance. In the face of happiness, there is going to be a measure of sadness, a measure of discomfort. Whoever discovered gravity did not just go to satisfy his impulse for another meal or an empty stomach. He had to do a measure of discomfort to discover gravity. Adam named all the animals. He didn't do that plucking fruits. He had to sit down, do a measure of discomfort, maybe starvation, ponder, wonder, focus, be invested with his mind's eye, spirit, to name all the animals. Many things, including greatness, lies in our substance. Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. On the 41st night, he still declined the opportunity to satisfy his impulse of hunger. And he said, man must live not on bread alone. Jacob and Esau lost the opportunity to father Israel for pursuit of happiness, a bowl of soup. Greatness lies in substance. The meaning of Jehovah, I am that I am. He causes to become. He will not change. That's substance. Nothing sways him. Even inclinations that we pursue. So it's important to attain greatness. We need to be able to sway matters. It's an all-time high when the things of the world, though it doesn't hold sway. Doesn't have entire whole. We influence the world and shake it with our beauty. That's an all-time high. Anyway, I'll be revealing more things. The aim is to fix the rarity in the great man industry, to abate half-humanism and hand-to-mouthism. Please share this video to as many people as possible, even if you can't listen to it. These things will be known. I've created projects, using regular human activities, but making them directional. Fun can be directional. Measure of challenges so that it becomes directional, not just a means to catch a fancy. There are life lessons even in fun. So I created not only curriculums, projects, social media platforms. I have ulogs.org, marlians.com, steamgeeks.org, and an entire path that will play out, where humans engage with using activities that they're familiar with and unknown to them, inculcating of an entire legitimate literacy curriculum. Anyway, your boy Terry, surpassing Google. Stay awesome. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and whether it's on Instagram, you find this video, or Facebook, do well to subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to Uloggers TV as well. All the necessary links will be in the description, my contact as well. If you want to become a student of legitimate literacy, let's go. Contact me. My email is underneath. Your boy Terry. I'm just keeping it at 12 minutes. Stay awesome.